Highways and byways around the Motor City of Detroit. All roads lead to Ford Field in downtown Detroit, not only on this Mid-American Conference 2012 MAC Media Day, but also the first Friday in the month of December, because that's when a Mid-American Conference football championship will be competed for, and we're delighted to have you with us, Michael Rega and my partner, Doug Graber. All right, there is a new program coming into the Mid-American Conference in this 2012 football season. But listen, if you're a college football fan, they're no stranger to you, because the Minutemen of the University of Massachusetts have had tremendous success in college football and known throughout the country in terms of just that on the football championship series level. And we're delighted to say hello to the head football coach of the UMass Minutemen, Mr. Charley Molnar, as we take a look at the first season in the MAC, but Yankee Conference to begin with, and back in the Atlantic 10 and lately in the Colonial Athletic Association. Charley, great to see you, and welcome to the Mid-American Conference. Welcome to Detroit.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Michael.
Sits right next to that championship trophy, Charley, that denotes last year. So here's what you're walking into. 4 MAC programs last year won bowl games, and the MAC was, by ESPN, given the Bowl Championship Cup. So you know, though, Charley, you've been around this game a long time. This conference is just replete with tremendous coaches and talent, and you got to come in and hit the ground running to do that. What's been the philosophy early on to be able to come into a conference like the Mid-American Conference with you and the kids?
Well, this is really my 5th stop in the Mid-American Conference, and I think my experience tells me this. There are certain fundamentals in the MAC that hold true in all of college football, but specifically in the MAC, and this is what it comes down to. We need a team that's physically and mentally tough, and we need a football team that's very, very disciplined. And so those are the things that we've really started to put into our program. Not that they weren't there, but we just needed to enhance it. And I think from day one, that's really been our emphasis. That's been our focus.
A couple of fine young men with you. Going to be a very interesting year for UMass. Charley, my first question, Gillette Stadium. And, of course, UMass being on the western side of the state of Massachusetts, the way, just cover the philosophy of moving your home games to Gillette and exactly how that transition's going.
Well, some of the ideas behind the move happened way before I was hired. But here's what I know and here's what I see. We have 150,000 alumni within about an hour of Gillette Stadium. That's our base. That's our constituency. We play on campus in a stadium that holds about 18,000 people. We expect, and we're going to be a big-time football program, and 18,000-seat stadiums just isn't enough. It's not enough to recruit the players that we want to recruit. It's not big enough to hold the fan base that we expect to have coming to our home games when we play at home. And we need to have a venue that we can recruit the best players in America to. So playing at Gillette, to me, is a perfect piece of the puzzle. Yeah, it's not exactly on campus. We have to get on a bus and drive, but it certainly is our home, and our players feel very comfortable playing there, and we're really excited having Gillette Stadium as our place.
Coach, obviously very, very well established as an assistant coach in the Mid-American Conference. Now, this, of course, is a whole different deal. Obviously, you've been an offensive coordinator coming from Notre Dame, and that's what you do. Phil Elmation, I would think, has been a key hire for you as a real character and a heck of a defensive coordinator. Talk about that.
I've known Phil since 1987, and I always told Phil, when I become a head football coach, I'm going to hire you as my defensive coordinator, and he would laugh. And I had 1 or 2 other interviews along the way for 1A jobs. And I would call Phil each time and say, Phil, if I get this job, you're going to be my defensive coordinator. And he'd say, if you get it, we'll talk. So finally, the opportunity came, and he was the first guy I called. And really, really glad that he joined my staff. Phil brings the same values and fundamental principles that I have as a football coach. He believes in discipline. He believes in tough, aggressive football. He believes in a foundation of guys who really love to play football and play team defense. So Phil's my kind of guy. I love having him on our staff.
You take a look right there at the profile of the Minutemen of UMass and what Charley Molnar and his group of young men will bring to the MAC party here in the 2012 football season. Let's introduce you to a couple of those young men who will wear the Minutemen colors, the outstanding center on the far side, Quinton Sales, and free safety Darren Thellen. Guys, welcome to Detroit. welcome to the Mid-American Conference. And right off the top, for both of you, Quinton, we'll start with you. What's it mean to you making the step up with an opportunity now to be a part of the FBS, be a part of a conference that's in the Football Bowl subdivision, and an opportunity to play for conference championships all across the Division I landscape?
Well, first of all, we know it's a lot more competitive than before. It takes a lot more hard work, so we're ready for the challenge. I think this new coaching staff put a lot of new energy in the program, so a lot more promising things are happening.
What's the transition been like now to a different style of offense as a center? You know, I know you guys are going to run the spread offense, and I know that puts a lot of pressure on the center. How's that gone this spring?
It went very well. I had to adjust from pro style to the no huddle, and I just had to, as a center, I had to control the tempo and keep everybody on track up front and skill player wise too. So it's been an adjustment, but the transition's been going very well.
Free safety Darren Thellen for you. So defensively, you come in. I don't know if you've looked yet. I'm sure Coach Molnar could tell you. He's been at Central Michigan. He's been at Western Michigan. This conference, quarterback replete, love to throw the football, spread it out. Defensively, what kind of challenges, Darren, does that create for you in terms of facing programs like this?
I mean, it's a big challenge to come up. You know, it's a passing league. I like to throw the ball, but like as a DB, like you're up for the challenge. Like you want the quarterbacks to throw the ball as much as they can. More opportunities for you to make plays, and it's just exciting to actually get more chances to make more opportunities to make plays.
5 interceptions last year. I think it's a big advantage to, in spring football, go against the coach's spread offense, because you're going to see that one variety or another of that spread really the whole football season. Talk about that.
Yeah, it was great. A great opportunity to against our offense in the spring, and coach brings in, they bring in a lot of knowledge and experience. So it's good to go against them, so you know what to expect when the season starts. So and you got to be up tempo. And we just hitting all cylinders, so we're ready for everything, whatever they throw at us.
Charlie, I'm very familiar with your quarterback, Kellen Pagel. His dad, Mike, is a very good friend of mine. Okay. NFL quarterback with Cleveland Browns, Indianapolis Colts during the course of his career. Kellen started his career at Bowling Green, so he's been in the Mid-American Conference. What do you like about him in terms of how he has been able to adapt to your philosophies and be able to carry out what you need as a trigger man at quarterback?
Here's what I like about Kellen. Off the field, he is a great worker, and that's the kind of guy that I'm looking for at that position. He watches film virtually every single day and is always, pulling somebody else into the film room with him, be it another quarterback or a receiver, tight end, whoever it is. So, he's got that part figured out. As far as on the field, he's a big, strong, physical kid, has above-average arm strength. He's accurate. What Kellen lacks really is just the confidence that comes with success. And I think once he gets that, if we can get him into a rhythm during camp and maintain it through our first couple of games, I think he'll have an outstanding season.
Charlie, just looking ahead to the future a little bit. Of course, Temple out of the MAC, UMass into the MAC, another really East Coast team. Sure. I would think that being the only Mid-American team on the true East Coast, that would be an advantage to recruiting New Jersey and Massachusetts and up and down the coast.
Yeah, that's and I think that's one of my strengths. I've been an East Coast recruiter my whole life. I'm from New Jersey, went to college in Pennsylvania, so that's my neck of the woods. That's my territory, and I feel like I know virtually every high school coach from New England down through Maryland. I've been in almost every high school there is at some point in my 28, 29-year coaching career. I believe in the football players on the East Coast, especially the Northeast. That's going to be the foundation of our program, and so far we've made pretty good inroads.
Last thing, Charlie, before we let you go, how important do you think it was it a selling point for you taking this job because of your Mid-American Conference background experience on the offensive side of the ball? I mean, was that something you were able to use to solidify your candidacy to get the job and then to be able to implement what you want, that you know could be successful in this conference?
Well, I don't think those things hurt. I think my experience around the league has helped me. I've seen it all in the Mid-American Conference, from being on the very best team at Central Michigan to being on some teams that weren't so good. So I saw a lot of the best practices from some of the best coaches in college football that I had an opportunity to work for. And also I saw some things that I thought weren't so good in the Mid-American Conference. So Certainly my plan is to take the very best practices that I saw that were successful in this league and utilize those and stay away from the things that didn't work so well.
Very diplomatic. Well said. Listen, we're delighted you guys are there. We look forward to coming to Amherst. We'll see you when you're at Miami in the first MAC game of the season. So UConn, Indiana, Michigan.
Correct.
The first three.
Yes.
All right. So Big East, 2 Big Tens. Jump right in.
Hey, we need that to get ready for the Mid-American Conference schedule.
There you go.
But the first Mid-American Conference game forever, and Michael and I will be there to witness it, and we're going to be excited to see that.
Looking forward to it. Quinton Sales, Darren Thellen, 2 outstanding young men football players. Look forward to seeing you guys too during the course of the year. Thanks for coming to visit with us.
Thank you.
Charley Molnar, along with Quinton Sales, his center, and Darren Thellen, his free safety. We're excited about the Minutemen of the University of Massachusetts, and again, you should be too. And there's a lot that they'll go through during this first year. I think we can agree on that.
Yep.
In terms of, but I mean, look, as we left with Coach Molnar, I really believe. Now he's a humble guy. He undersold it. Doug, I think it means a great deal. Look at the offensive expertise that he's had already at Central Michigan and Western Michigan in this conference.
Yeah, he's believe me, he knows how to put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah.
And I think that with playing at Gillette Stadium and really having the East Coast open and the recruiting process, I think it's important for the Mid-American Conference to have an Eastern exposure.
Oh, sure.
And I think they have a great future in this conference.
Yeah. Well, no, it's gonna be a lot of fun. No question about that.